Welcome to Get to Know Your County Commissioner, the program that speaks with elected officials about issues of importance to our community. I'm Jeanette Perez. Illegal dumping is our topic today. It's not just an eyesore for our Miami-Dade County neighborhoods, it's also a serious environmental crime. Take a look. And joining me now to discuss illegal dumping are District 10 Commissioner Senator Javier Souto and his guest, Deputy Director of Solid Waste Management, Paul Mauriello. Welcome, and thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Souto, you
Yes.
are very proactive in educating your residents about illegal dumping.
Try to.
Tell me how it's affecting the residents of your district and the neighborhoods throughout the county.
Really, it ruins the community. It can be very disturbing to the people, to the residents. It looks ugly. It looks real bad. It also, I think, diminishes it lowers the prices of the homes in the area, so on and so forth. It probably becomes also a health hazard with rodents and many other animals going around and maybe spreading diseases. So it's quite a problem.
And what are some ways we can reduce or prevent illegal dumping?
Well, I think that education is one. I believe in education, and I believe in fines also, you know, and honestly, we need to do both, you know, with one hand and the other, you know. It is true that because of the fact that we have Miami is a community composed of people coming from all over the place. I came from another place. I came here from Cuba region, as you know, many moons ago. But you know, there's people here from everywhere, and everyone has a different idea. Well, I used to do it like this, or I used to do it in my state, or in my, you know, in I don't know, in Minnesota. We did it like that. In Chicago. You never know. So. Everyone has a different idea, and we have to tell them, teach them that you know, there are laws here and there's systems, and they have to go by the system. And if you don't comply with that, well, you know, it's a problem.
And Paul, can you elaborate on what exactly defines the waste as being illegal? Is it the tires, the old refrigerators?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter what it is. The distinction is if someone other than the property owner put the waste on the right-of-way, then that's illegally dumped because that owner didn't give permission. If the owner themselves puts it there, then that's what we call a bulky waste pickup. So it's anything that the owner is not responsible for is illegal dumping.
Okay, and you mentioned bulky waste pickup. So if their trash doesn't fit in their green waste bins, that's when they should call for a bulky waste pickup, or can they do something else?
Right. Each customer in the waste collection service area, and we have about 326,000 customers, they have the ability to schedule up to 2 bulky waste pickups each year. And each bulky waste pickup can be up to 25 cubic yards of material, which is almost an entire truckload. So they can do 2 of those, you know, twice a year, or they can combine them into 1 for 50 cubic yards. So this is one of the ways they can get rid of the material if they want to put it out on the swale. The other way that they can do it is to visit one of our 13 trash and recycling centers that are located throughout the county. They have to bring the material there, and they're going to be depositing it into a large container.
The real problems in our neighborhoods is when people pass by and they start dumping, you know, and illegal dumping chairs and mattresses and stuff, you know, and old TVs, and that they don't belong there, as Paul was saying. That is not their home. So it's somebody from maybe another part of town went by, you know, and they had an old bicycle in the trunk and they threw it over there, and that's illegal. So we need to catch these people because it's illegal, and there's heavy duty fines about that. And I wish we had more cameras and things. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that people ought to know, that in some cases we do have illegal. We have in those places where they illegally dump stuff, we have hidden cameras. So hey, you know, they got you, you know, you're in candid camera, so, you know.
And what's the enforcement process?
Well, we have the county, our service area is divided up into 32 enforcement zones. So on any given day, there's an enforcement officer in each one of those 32 zones. They travel their zone once a week, and they're on the lookout for any waste that's been put out on the right-of-way. So when they see waste there, a pile of debris, they're going to check the system to see if that bulky waste, if that's a scheduled bulky waste pile, to see if someone has called that in. That's the beginning of the enforcement process. If it hasn't been called in, they're going to issue a warning notice to the property owner. And then the property owner, after the warning notice is issued, has 7 days to comply. And if it's a homeowner, all they really need to do is just call in and schedule a bulky waste pickup. So the homeowner can do that by either calling 311 or they can do it online.
And let me tell you what we do in my neighborhood, in my district. My district is all OMSA, so you know, I can't call a city. We have to call these folks that, by the way, they do a great job. And we do patrol, myself, on many occasions, and the staff. We go around the neighborhoods and we tell these folks, hey, you know, there's a big pile. Sometimes we send pictures also at such and such a place. So we try to facilitate the system, the process, and the speed, because that's another thing. Sometimes you don't want these big deposits of all kinds of stuff to be there in front of your house, you know, for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. We try to help the system. I'm trying to do other things also, as you probably know, in the system, trying to, in the case of OMSA, because it's OMSA is an unincorporated municipal service area. It's whatever is not a city, and OMSA is about 1.5 million people in Miami-Dade County. It's a lot of people. And that's Kendall, Westchester, you know, West Dade area, Southwest Dade, South areas, North Dade. There's sites all over the place, and I'm trying to maybe decentralize, maybe try to help you folks in the operational side of all that. And maybe you and I have to talk some more about that. I've been talking to the mayor about that. Because it's true that Dade County is big. I don't know how many miles, but it's very big. And as you know, well, there are cities, but there's the county. There's the unincorporated, which is humongous, and that's where we're having a lot of those problems in these OMSA things, and which is, again, you know, Kendall, Westchester, parts of South Dade, North Dade, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes they're good areas. They don't have to be, you know, ghettos or slums or a place like that. Sometimes you have very nice areas with very nice homes and all that. And this happens, and then people from other areas, they come and dump. And I've seen myself, I could tell you stories about people that I've seen doing that, and of course I intervene and call the police right away and call everybody. Neighbors should call the police right away. Or when they see something wrong like that, they need to call the police, or call the commissioner's office, or call 311, or call us, and we'll take immediate action, because there's laws for that, and as you know, the fines are heavy duty. So everyone should be really on top of that.
And Paul, say a resident has already scheduled a bulky waste pickup. What tips can you give them to prevent others from dumping on their pile that's already been scheduled to pick up?
The most important thing the customer can do is schedule that bulky waste pickup early. Technically, you're supposed to schedule the pickup before you even put the material out on the right-of-way. If you do that, then you're going to get into the queue a lot faster, and that means that pile is going to stay out there less time. The longer it stays out there, the more the likelihood is, as the senator's talking about, that somebody can ride through and throw a chair on it, or throw other, other waste on top of it, and then it starts to grow, and it can grow out into the street, and then we have issues with that. So getting it scheduled quickly is the most important thing that they can do. The other thing that they should be aware of is that you don't want to put the pile say under low-hanging power lines, or next to a tree, or next to a car, or some other obstruction, because that just it takes us longer to pick it up, or or we may even have to have you move the pile in that type of situation. So anything like that would help greatly.
Paul, and now you're talking about that. What if we somehow, this is something that occurred to me listening to you, if we encourage the people to put signs, let's say that we could make signs, you know, and give it to the people for free, where when they put the things out, put those signs there, you know, in the grass, you know, we'll put it in the swale, signs that will say something like, you know, prohibited to dump anything here, fines of whatever it is, $500, I forgot what it was, and tell the people, stick a sign, you know, they're free, we can give it to you, if you give it to me, I'll give it to them. And with a piece of wood, you know, stake or something that will go in the grass, in the ground, and telling the people beware. You know, there's heavy duty fines if you dump anything, a mattress, an old chair, anything on this pile which is the pile that belongs to that house. You know, and they get me dumping in front of your house. Then there's a problem. Why don't we do that?
Well, that's something we could look into.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
It could be cheap and maybe effective. Maybe we tell them what it is. I've been trying to educate for years.
Mm-hmm.
And the illegal dumping doesn't just happen in front of people's homes. It could be in empty lots.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
All throughout the county.
Right, and that's in that situation. You know, there could be a vacant lot, and if there's some waste illegally dumped there, our policy is that we want the property owner to call us before the enforcement officer gets out there, so that they're proactively watching their properties, okay? If they do that, if they call us before the enforcement officer's there to issue the warning notice, then we will go ahead and we'll do the investigation to see if we can determine who put the waste there, and then we'll pick the waste up, and there won't be a citation involved.
It could be tires, for instance, which are very, very bad because tires hold water, and where you hold water, you get mosquitoes, and then you get diseases. So, and sometimes one of these, you know, smart guys dump tires from a tire store in South Dade or North Dade, and they dump it in some corner, and they dump 50 tires, 100 tires. I saw at a big pile one day by Carway and the railroad tracks. They had like 1,000 tires there. Somebody, and I remember it was a scandal that day. It's a problem that we have.
And Senator, how can residents get more involved in reporting illegal dumping?
Well, they can call 311, 311. They can call the commissioner's office. They can call the police. They can call. This is a big problem we have, and we need to get this, you know, under compliance. People need to comply with that, and we need to get really hard on that. I'm pro heavy duty fines and cameras and all that. We've done both. We've done all that. And I've been teaching. I used to go with the kids from school. I haven't done that in some time now. And go to school and take them. You guys used to have a little trash bags, you know, in the days of Andy Wilford. Remember Wilford years ago? little bags that I would go to school and see the teacher. Teacher, oh, let's go out with it. And go out with the kids and go around and then give them these bags. With the kids, we go with the big bags. Then we would give the kids little bags for their parents to put them in the cars. It says, don't throw it out, you know, just put it in the... right?
Right, like a little litter bag for inside the car.
Exactly. So we would give the kids, every kid, at least one litter bag in that school. And I think that works, you know, because the kids take it home and they talk to the parents. So I would talk to the kids, the teacher will talk to the kids will take it home. Hopefully they will talk to the parents and say, hey, you know, you throw your wrapper from Burger King in the street, don't do that, and you know, and then it goes on and on and on. So I think it's important to work with the schools also.
Well, thank you both for being here and letting our residents know what to do if they see illegal dumping.
Sure.
Thank you.
That's all for this edition of Get to Know Your County Commissioner. To obtain more information on proper waste disposal and to report illegal dumping, please call 311 or visit miamidade.gov/solid waste. I'm Jeanette Perez. Thanks for watching.